Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Raw Ring Report. As you see right here, Bobby Lashley returns to Raw with unfinished business. What does that mean? Unfinished business between the Almighty Bobby Lashley and what's going on with Bobby. We're going to find out coming up on the show. Also, too, Cody Rhodes provides another vignette or update on what's going on with him. We've seen a lot going on, but he has a monumental statement that he's going to make coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Also, too, we're gearing up for the Raw 30 for Raw. Raw's gearing up for his 30th anniversary. Raw is 30. We'll see what's going to go down with that coming up as well. Also, too, the Street Profits taking on Shelton Benjamin and the Hurt Businesses, Cedric Alexander. So we'll see that. And the ongoing saga between Becky Lynch and Bayley. Where this leading up to, we just had to find out and see. All this and more when the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Raw Ring Report. It starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Raw Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Raw Ring Report for this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, January 16th, 2023. Yes, Martin Luther King Jr. WWE paid tribute to the late great civil rights pioneer, but we'll get to that. First thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. Yes, indeed, we get with the Raw Ring Report. As you see right here, Bobby Lashley means business, and he did mean business. But Raw kicked off with this. The tag team champions, the Usos, along with their brother, Solo Sikoa, and the tag team champions had a lot to say. The undisputed tag team champions, since they will be defending the Raw Tag Team Championship against the Judgment Day sometime and sometime in the near future. We found out when that championship match. There you go. Against the Judgment Day, Dominic Mysterio and Damian Priest for the Tag Team Championship next week on Raw is 30. We'll see that. Well, the Judgment Day didn't waste no time calling out the Usos. The Judgment Day looking forward to that Tag Team Championship match. Even Rhea Ripley getting the face of the Enforcer, Sora Sokoa. She wouldn't back down one bit. Sora Sokoa, I don't know. He would hit a woman. He wouldn't make love to a woman. I don't know if he got a girlfriend or not, but he went, in case of Rhea, he'll knock her out. And the way he was acting and stuff, like Rhea was not intimidating, didn't flinch one bit to Sora. Well, Kevin Owens came out there to even up the odds, get revenge on the Usos. Kevin Owens will get his opportunity against Roman at the Royal Rumble for the third time at the Royal Rumble event for the championship. They be breaking records all of a sudden and stuff. Well, Kathy Kelly was standing by with the Judgment Day, saying they're gonna go against American Alpha. American Alpha look like they're now a babyface team now. You know how that situation goes. Well, we know that one thing for sure, the Judgment Day went against American Alpha in a match of nutrition, and that match led to what's going on. Knowing that the Judgment Day had to prep themselves to go against the Usos next week. So we'll get to see that match probably next week. We told you next week. Tag team titles on the line. The Usos defend against the Judgment Day for the Raw Tag Team Championship. The Red Scrap is on the line. We'll get to see that match next week. Speaking of that, Becky Lynch wanted to call out Bayley. She called out Bayley over. She told Bayley was in her prime in 2015, and that was merely like 8 years ago. And now Bayley and Becky Lynch at each other's throats. And Bayley and Becky Lynch want to finally put this to an end. They're not going to wait till a Royal Rumble. They might meet each other at the Royal Rumble, but they want to fight it out. And the way they're going to fight it out is they're going to fight it out next week on Raw inside of a 15-foot solid steel cage. That's next week. Becky Lynch and Bayley next week in a cage match. Wow, let's the differences. Becky Lynch doesn't have to worry about the damage control coming in and trying to interfere. But that's what Becky Lynch using that cage for. Let's be her and Bayley next week inside of a steel cage. Speaking of that, speaking of the women's division, even got more crazier as in the women's division as well as champion Bianca Belair came out there and wanted to confront Alexa Bliss, and she did confront Alexa Bliss, and Alexa Bliss got confronted. But Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss brawled until Alexa Bliss saw Uncle Howdy, and Alexa Bliss took advantage, and we don't know what this Uncle Howdy entity is doing. Look, Uncle Howdy came out of nowhere, and you can see right there, we don't know what's going on. It's just weird that Uncle Howdy will come out there and make a statement, make an impact the way he did. And like I said, Alexa Bliss getting the best of Bianca Belair. We don't know if there's going to be a championship match down the road between the two. But like I said, we're going to look forward to seeing it somewhere down the road. So, hey, it is what it is. Speaking of that, Cody Rhodes continues his vignettes. Cody, where was Alexa Bliss leaving Bianca Belair laying out what she did. And so Alexa Bliss, we don't know what the the issue with Alexa Bliss and Uncle Howdy. We'll never know. Just get weirder and weirder each week. Well, for now we can finally talk about Cody. Cody returning, getting himself back in shape. We heard that Cody's trying to enlist the help of NXT stars Carmelo Hayes and Joe Gacy to help him get back in shape, train more, train better. So Cody, talking about his pectoral issue that he had suffered this past summer when he was inside Hell in a Cell with Seth Rollins. The man had a torn pec and won his match over Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. On his road to recovery, Cody made it simple that he already made the announcement that we already knew. He was going to compete in the Royal Rumble match. Cody Rhodes, you heard right, will be competing. He declared himself into the Royal Rumble. So Cody Rhodes is in the Royal Rumble match. Cody could be one of the odds-on favorite. As you see right here, this is the field right now, the Royal Rumble. Cody is in. U.S. Champion Austin Theory is in. Gunther, Rey Mysterio, former Royal Rumble winner. Kofi Kingston, Seth Rollins, another former Rumble winner. Santos, Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley could be the dark horse. Baron Corbin. We got two former Royal Rumble winners. We got former WWE champions in Lashley, Kofi Kingston, and Seth Rollins. It's just the field gets deeper and deeper. So we get to see that. As well as in the women's field. You see right here, this is the women's field. Rhea Ripley's in. Candice. Liv Morgan. Rhea Ripley, a runner-up. She never won it, but she was a runner-up. So this is the field that's going to go grand. Also, too, speaking of that, Candice LeRae was in action. Candice LeRae was in action as well. She trying to help out Mia and them against the the tag team champions. Forgot their damn name. The tag team champions. I don't know. The Damage Control. So hey. Speaking of that, the monster, Omos, is back. Omos back into the fray. Omos back. We know Omos will be entering the Royal Rumble match himself. Omos went against, I forgot who Omos went against. Elias. Omos went against Elias. Omos the Giant Killer is back. And who's gonna eliminate Omos at the Royal Rumble? It's gonna be hard to do. And then he still got MVP in his corner. We don't know what's going on with that. MVP come in the corner of Omos, and we'll see what this big man might do. So we'll see about that. Also, too, MVP was watching Shelton Benjamin versus Cedric Alexander, and they went against the Street Profits in a match. The Hurt Business went against the Street Profits. The Hurt Business lost. Both teams are former tag team champions. You see right here, the Street Profits won their match. But MVP kind of a little bit disappointed at the Hurt Business, and I guess he's trying to reform the Hurt Business back into reformation as they once was. Also, too, Adam Pearce was talking to Brian Saxton about the Royal Rumble odds and how that's going to play out. I'm talking about Kiro Tazara. Tazara was Tazara wanted to be in the Royal Rumble. He wanted to find a way. And Tazara went against the big guy, the Colossus. Bronze, I forgot his name. Bronson Reed. He lost against Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed won. And you can tell Bronson Reed gonna end that Royal Rumble. So hey, we tell you that right now, Bronson Reed and stuff. And I told you right now, the Royal Rumble is stacked and full and stuff. Well, we'll tell you this. Next week is Raw 30. Raw 30 will feature legends such as The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Nature Boy Ric Flair, X-Pac, Farouk, Road Dogg, former General Manager Teddy Long, Jerry the King Law, the Bella Twins, Kurt Angle. All these legends will be in the house next week for the Raw 30 anniversary. I'm surprised they ain't got Jim Ross on now. Mr. McMahon or somebody. Mr. McMahon making waves and stuff like that. Also, too, at Raw 30, the tag team championships are on the line for Raw. The Usos, the undisputed tag team champions, defend the Raw tag team titles against the Judgment Day. Can the Judgment Day pick up the win over the Usos? We'll have to wait and see and find out. It's going to be an instant classic as well. Speaking of that instant classic, we told you that Becky Lynch will take on Bayley next week in Raw. But this time it'll be inside of a 15-foot solid steel cage. Bayley versus Becky Lynch next week on Raw. 30th anniversary. Man, been 30 years of Raw, and these women finna go inside of a cage. You know, like they say, let the pigeons loose. And the pigeons will be loose next week inside of a 15-foot solid steel cage. And finally, was this the main event? A fatal six-way to determine the next number one contender for the United States Championship. The action was high and fast. Seth Rollins eliminated The Miz out of the match. And then he did so eliminate Dolph Ziggler out of the match as well. Dolph Ziggler was eliminated. It was just the match was just flying in fury. Even with Austin Theory at commentary to see and scope out who was going to be his next challenger. Well, Theory didn't have to wait too long, as Theory know that Bobby Lashley defeated Seth Rollins with the help of Omos and MVP to get to the scratch, and also Theory to screw Seth Rollins. Now, Bobby Lashley will get that opportunity next week for the United States Championship. Theory versus Lashley. One more go around is going to happen next week on Raw, and we'll see that match as well coming up next week on Raw. And you see right here, this was the This what happened right here. Theory. Um, Seth Rollins trying to set up Omos, and Omos got caught for his trouble with the curb stomp. So we know. So we know about that. All right. That ends the Raw Ring report. Let's move forward to the hot topics right quick. We told you Mickie James won the Knockout Championship. Pride Mickie James ain't got no call to come back. Mickie James won the Knockout Championship on this past Friday from Hard to Kill. It was like a career versus title on the line. Mickie James won with her career on the line. She did that. But you got to wonder, will Mickie James return like she did last year at the Royal Rumble? We have to wait and see and find out. Also, too, WWE with the ongoing talks on who might get WWE, and WWE's on sale. A lot of people are still wondering. The feelers were sent out last week when people thought WWE was brought by the Saudis, but that wasn't too true. I think WWE sent that out just to see how outrageous it was going to be. But we'll have to wait and see. Also, too, Triple H is still head of creative and talent relations. He also he had an announcement with the people, the superstars, the staff, and told them to rest assured that he's still in control of WWE. So Triple H still in control of WWE when it runs to the creative side, despite Vince McMahon coming back as the chairman again. That's crazy. Man, back as executive chairman. Crazy. Also, too, um, also too, there's an amazing stat that Dolph Ziggler and The Miz have competed against each other since 2009-23. That's 15 years of being opponents for at least per 1 year. And you know that? That's an amazing statistic. Congratulations to Miz and Ziggler on that phenomenal feat in that match. Like we said, next week, steel cage match, 15-foot solid steel cage between Becky Lynch and Bayley. These two put their feud to an end, and they might continue on that Royal Rumble. Who knows? But we'll have to wait and see on that. As well as Theory taking on Lashley for the United States Championship. That match going to be of attrition right there that we can't wait to see. Also, too, a lot of people are spinning outrage over Ruby Soho losing blood like that. A lot of people are saying Ruby Soho, but the blood was too much. Well, just it wasn't. If you don't like what they're doing, don't watch it. I'll tell you that right now. But a lot of people were saying, and two, we told you that the tag team championship is online next week on Raw 30. The Usos defend against the Judgment Day. We get to see that match. Who's gonna win between these teams? We have to wait and see. And two, the WWE Legends return. Kurt Angle, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Heartbreak Kid, Nature Boy Ric Flair, the Bellas, and many more return for a special night on Raw 30. And we get to see it next week, the 30th anniversary of Raw. Coming your way next week. We'll have full coverage on everything, review the show next week like we did in the Pro Wrestling Show. So, that's going to do it for the Pro Wrestling Show for the Raw Ring Report. We'll see you tomorrow for the NXT Ring Report. I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long, and thank you for watching Pro Wrestling Show.